Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending our videocasts concerning the organizational questions of our master's program. And you will see we have some adoptions to last year. So what we've learned on some points is that, for example, the question of the pre-readings and the intensity in which our students read those pre-readings was quite diverse. And so, for example, we have some new rules about the pre-readings and the examination. So this is a real, I would say, fundamental change which we made. Just to mention it beforehand, we integrated all those informations in detail in a guideline for you as lecturers, and you will get this guideline sent via email. So there we have the text version of it, so that you can really once again go through it and see what things we designed in detail. Perhaps we could just start with the topic of pre-readings and the examination of the course, and I invite Alexander Groth, who you for sure know. He's in charge as an assistant for the master's degree program, and we would just like to discuss a little bit what the idea of the new pre-reading structure is. We divided it in foundation and core pre-readings, but what is that, Alex?
Thank you, Peter. Because we harmonized the modules in the master's program to 70.5 ECTS, we also thought that it's maybe a good idea to think about modules as knowledge milestones. So every module is contributing towards a knowledge goal, and to make sure that students understand this goal, we thought about how to structure this knowledge and how to test it. So pre-readings is just an entry point into a model or into a course, and students will have the possibility to get or brush up their knowledge with foundation pre-readings. So they can read the books, maybe they had not so much information in the previous studies, so they can brush up, get up to date, and the core readings, core pre-readings.
These are the core pre-readings.
The core pre-readings are important for the course itself. So every lecturer has, if he wants to use pre-readings as a tool for his course, has the possibility to define like a really basic introduction literature to the course and a really already course-tailored literature. And the core literature is something that students have to prepare on a mandatory basis, and foundation is something students can prepare or are advised to prepare to get a common foundation for the course.
But the very crucial point is that we thought to make really sure that the option of the foundation pre-readings will be really learned by heart and really be understood, because this is what we got from some lecturers as a feedback, that students would be in the class and would, for example, have real basic questions about the field. Due to the fact that we have heterogeneous students with heterogeneous bachelor programs and bachelor background, and the lecturers had to decide within their lecture if they would invest 30 or 40 minutes or only 14 minutes to clarify that basic thing. And that is really time consuming, and we thought to make it really, really short, we would say the foundation pre-reading is for sure an option for those who are familiar with it, but they're mandatory for those who had other bachelor studies. And to make that 100% sure, we decided to have a written module examination at the end of a whole module, where we get questions out of the foundation pre-readings, just to make sure that students are really familiar with it. And
maybe we should clarify, sorry, maybe we should clarify before what a module examination is. Because every module consists of several courses, like 2-3 courses.
That's it.
And a written module examination, as we call it, consists of a multiple choice examination, picking like a pool of questions which we will gather from you as lecturers, and pull them together out of these courses, out of the pre-readings, and put it together as a multiple choice exam. And this will be done online. And to get the grading for the course too, we will also have a kind of an integrated course examination. This can consist of, for example, submitting a paper or having discussions or presentations, whatever you think is best to grade your course. And we will weigh that with 50% each. So in the end, the course grade will be defined out of these two measures.
That's it.
But the knowledge is coming out of core readings, course, and anything you decide to do in your course.
So we select your multiple choice questions from your lecture. We put that together for all the lectures who are in a module. And this is the written part of it. That gives 50% of the grade. And then you would, as you had done it before, grade the students within your course. And you have there the possibility to do that in an oral way, to see if they contribute within the lesson or if they would hand in a paper or something like that. And that would be the other 50% as the grade for your course within a module. So this is the basic idea, and the module examination, this written module examination, is as close as it makes sense to the end of a module. So that for a student, it is the best way to get a good grade is to have the pre-readings, go into the course, get a good grading within your course, and as the courses are designed that they are one shoulder to shoulder so that the module finishes up, and after the end of the module we would provide them with the written module examination which is triggered to that. So we think that there is a stronger motivation for the students to have those pre-readings. For sure, students who are familiar with, for example, the foundation pre-readings of marketing, they would just briefly go through it and perhaps remember it before they would go into the written exam. But others who are weak in this field would have really kind of to learn that. And also for you, as a lecturer, you could address that very clearly and say, okay, I've designed a very clear pre-reading for my course, and I think I don't want to spend 30 or 40 minutes to clarify a basic thing. This is the reason why I put it in the pre-reading. That brings another aspect to it. So it is very important that you once again recheck the pre-readings which you would give the students, so that it is not too less and not too much, and is very, I would say, from the student as a consumer point of view, easy to handle. So if you would, on the one hand, say I decided 10 books as a pre-reading and a chapter 3 here and chapter 8 there and 5 papers, that might be a bit confusing. So the clearer and simpler you can really bring down and focus your pre-reading and your foundation idea into a literature, a book, a paper, something like that, the better it is, because this is then the starting point also for you for the written exam, and makes you sure, if that's very clear, that you could address students within the class and say, this is not the content of this class. You could say, I don't want to spend time, I don't want to lose time of my lecturing because I have my core pre-readings, I have my course, I want to bring my message to you, and I don't want to waste time on two simple basic things. So it is a really new design.
Yeah, and to make this design work, it's like we have to put some very strict regulations there.
Absolutely.
Kind of, if you use pre-readings, you would be best if you submit them 2 weeks before the start of your lecture, latest. And it is also important that in your course, if you use pre-readings, that you set up maybe in the first hour something where you discuss with them pre-readings or do a small entry exam, or like make an effort to give students credit if they prepared the pre-readings, that they have a sense of, yeah, this was worth preparing, so we have a benefit somehow. And of course, if students do not prepare pre-readings, they should at least feel, yeah, maybe I should read it until the next day or make myself familiar, because I really start missing something in the course. So on the bottom line, we want to build a bit pressure for the students to get themselves more into into the courses.
And also get more out of your time as lecturers.
Exactly, yeah.
And this was, for example, also one of the questions which we had in the individual feedbacks of the lecturers. The lecturer said, is that appropriate if the students have to prepare things from one day to the other? In the new terminology of the core pre-readings or the cases which we're working on, and the answer is very clear, yes. This is a module-driven and a course-driven concept, and it is for sure very appropriate if you ask students to do that. And that brings, for example, a small conflict if they would, in addition to that, also make them familiar with the foundation pre-readings. But nevertheless, they have to do it, and we want to really get the most out of your time and bring the highest value to the students. And we think these are regulations. Regulations are sometimes not fair, not easy to understand. Sometimes people would say they're too strict. But nevertheless, we strongly believe that this is something which improves and triggers the quality of our educational program.
And of course, to make it easier for you to handle all this, we have one representative for each module. And this representative will approach you to explain you the system once again, maybe if there are some questions open, and help you choose the right amount of, like, how much should I give as a pre-reading? Is the examination maybe enough, or is it too much? Or which questions do I need for my written module examination? And we will try to make this as easy as possible for you, so especially that we can use it on several semesters and just need to update a consistent base of questions and pre-readings, and not always try to start on a new level.
So as a written basis for that, you will have booklets which describe the whole module. So what is the idea of the module, what courses are in the module, who is lecturing the courses in this module this year, and you will be provided with the name of one of the assistants or one of the lecturers in our team who's really responsible for the whole module, and you have the possibility to address this person and say, okay, may we discuss that? And to be even more proactive, these module representatives will directly contact you in order to set up a video call or do that in a written way, just to support you to say, okay, I have one lecture in the module, how can we harmonize it? Also in terms of workload, which is to be on the side of the students. We do not want to have that modules differ too much in their workload. So the idea of the Bologna process in Europe was for sure to harmonize not only the amount of ECTS or credit hours, but to standardize the time effort students have to put in one module. Once again, for sure it makes easier. If that's once standardized, it's easier to exchange modules with other universities. So also from the student point of view, harmonizing also the workload, and you can discuss that with the representative of your module, and you'll have a series of video casts where you see the representatives. They would say hello to you and describe the module in detail for all lecturers, so that everybody has the same level of information. You get, in addition, the booklet, which is the written part of it, and then you have a personal phone call or personal contact, so that you're really sure that everything is crystal clear, and we are really sure that we can communicate everything which is necessary for the students so they can prepare and optimize their effort and get, on the other hand, most out of the module and your courses and your lecturing time, which we once again highly appreciate. A lot of you are traveling very, very far to come to Innsbruck, and our effort is only to optimize that as good as we can. So this was the new way of coming to exams,
the newest and
grading.
probably largest impact change or iteration
Absolutely.
we had for a long time. So
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
so if you have any feedback or questions, of course, it's highly welcomed.
Yeah, just let us know. Perhaps some other very small things. You will also get a video cast on some new things which we implemented in the Sakai platform, where you, for example, also can update your CVs. I would really ask you to do so because that helps us. We are actually running for international accreditations, which are very, very important for us as MCI, but for sure also for our MCIT department. And we need that knowledge about you, your projects and your publications. So thank you once again for that effort. Perhaps a last question, which lecturers always have. How should we handle attendance? What is our official opinion to that?
Our official opinion, and there are quite clear rules on that, is that students need to attend the course 75% of the time, of the duration of the course. If they are above the 25%, they will lose one of their exam possibilities. So normally students have 3 possibilities to attend an exam, so they will only have 2. And if they miss more of the class, up to 50%, they will have to hand in, we call it like a compensation paper. So they will have more workload to submit towards the course and will go directly on a commission-based exam.
And the idea of the, I would say, the size of the seminar work or written paper which they have to hand it should be more or less similar with the time which they missed in the course. Because in our didactical concept we would say it makes huge difference if you would have the classical, this is a lecture, this is the book, didactical approach, or discuss the things together with the students. And if you would discuss that together with the students, that brings knowledge, that brings understanding, and if you miss that, it's more or less the missing time frame between that. So if you want to have a feeling about that, I think we will provide you with the amount of hours the student missed, and this is then the amount of work which students have to put in, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is about the attendance. We would also kindly ask you to see if the students are attending the classes in the morning and also in the afternoon. So we ask them to sign our list twice in the morning sessions and in the afternoon session, just to make sure that it is like this. We try best to harmonize the exams and all these things so that students have their time to be in class when your class is here in Innsbruck. So I would say arguments like we have to prepare for another class would not be appropriate because as you hand in your pre-readings and the foundation pre-readings and the core pre-readings in time, they have the time to prepare, and so there is, I would say, no excuse of sitting in a class or not being in a class just because of the argument they have to prepare for other classes. You can be sure we have a lot of experiences in designing this time frame. We really do our best to do so, and we think when you're once here in Innsbruck with us, when you teach, we do everything that it is crystal clear. Nevertheless, you will hear those arguments. This is more or less for sure God-given, so to say. But be sure there is nothing else as important as your teaching time here at MCIT.
And it often happens or can happen that students arrive late in the course. So we have a grace time of 15 minutes. If you have students that arrive late after 15 minutes of the course, please note down the entry date. And if students leave earlier, then please do so too, because there are many excuses for, like, my bus leaves and everything, but we want students to know that we have a system intact that requires students to attend classes, and this is part of the whole study program and study system.
Part of the game.
It's
so
part of the game.
Be very sure that we don't, we would never support students' excuses to coming an hour or 2 hours too late. This is not a system which is in place here. For sure, students will try to do that. They optimize their systems. We teach them that it is classically so, but once they're in such a program, which is so highly subsidized by our federal state, they have to be here and they have to bring their optimum input. And one of these inputs is being here, not only physically but also mentally being prepared and working as hard as they can. So this would be our mission on this point. Okay, I'm just thinking about, is there something else in terms of administration?
Yeah, for scripts and CVs we have some information, quick information.
Yeah, I said that already, that the CVs are in this new landing page,
we'll
but we have
another video later on, but this is also really important, so please watch this video. And for the scripts, it's important that at least 2 days, we had this already, but to emphasize it once more, please double check your scripts, especially according to references. We are also checked on this issue that sometimes lecturers have not well cited or well quoted material in their own scripts.
Yeah.
So please just double check your scripts on that point.
We check our students too for that.
We check our students,
yeah. And this is one of the many measures which we're going through and actions which we have to do and set up in order to get these accreditations, and we have to really take care that is also on a very high level and very high standard. So it might happen sometimes, but please recheck that because we are checking our students too. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video cast on these organizational things. We really tried to explain you the new rules as good as we could. There will be also a PowerPoint presentation about that to visualize it, right?
We will have that in a more compact written format, but as an enriched and maybe more entertaining format, we have this video too.
But we did our best, right?
We did our best.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.